All right, let's talk about building authority. But we're going to throw out the old rule book. This is about building it on your terms, especially if you're someone whose brilliance has been, kind of ignored or pushed aside by the old guard. This explainer is for all the unnamed authorities out there.
Does this feel familiar? You get pushed out of a job you loved? Or maybe you're forced out of an entire industry, an industry you helped create. Or maybe a platform you built on just vanishes from under your feet. And man, it feels like an ending, right? A total rejection. But what if it's not?
This quote right here, it flips the whole script. It gets to the very heart of what we're talking about today. See, that moment of being pushed out, it's not a loss. Think of it as a strategic relocation, a move to new ground where the old rules and the old gatekeepers literally cannot get to you. Now, to really get this, we have to go way back and look at an ancient story. It's this incredible parable that acts as the blueprint for this entire doctrine. It's the story of a woman named Hagar and what she built in the wilderness. So Hagar's story starts with her having, well, basically no power at all. She wasn't just an employee. Her position was structural. She was an asset, a piece of property, and a system designed for her to serve others. She had zero agency. Her journey is pretty intense, marked by getting kicked out not once but twice. The first time, she runs away from awful treatment and ends up in the wilderness. There, she has this encounter. She's given a promise for her future. And then she does something absolutely radical. She names the divine source that found her. The second time, she and her son are cast out for good, basically left to die. But again, in that same wilderness, provision shows up. This time, it's a well of water, the literal infrastructure she needed to survive and build something new. Okay, and this is the moment that changes everything. With these words, El Roi, Hagar, the Egyptian slave, the person with no standing whatsoever, becomes the very first human in the entire biblical record to give a name to God. Not the patriarchs, not the prophets, her. And that act of naming, it becomes a permanent, undeniable record. And here's the kicker. Her claim, her record, is completely uncontested. You know why? Because the very place she was exiled to, the wilderness, was territory the institution had totally abandoned. Nobody else was out there trying to build a competing story. The place she was marginalized became the source of her unique and lasting authority. So, ancient story, pretty cool. But what in the world does that have to do with us today? Well, turns out, everything. Let's decode this parable into 3 core principles of what the source material calls the infrastructure doctrine. First up, the expulsion. So when an institution pushes you out, it thinks it's taking you off the board. But what it's actually doing is handing you a whole new playing field. A field it doesn't own with rules it can't enforce. It's basically giving you this wide open, uncontested territory where you can build without any competition. Second, we have the naming. Now this is the engine of the whole thing. See, authority isn't just about having expertise locked up in your head. It's the act of documenting it, of publishing it, of creating an official, authoritative version, a canonical record. An experience is private, but a named, documented record is public and it's permanent. The naming is the build. And third, the well. Remember how Hagar found that well in the wilderness? That was her infrastructure. For us, today, that well is the infrastructure that we own. I'm not talking about your borrowed social media page that could disappear tomorrow. I'm talking about your own website, your own newsletter, your own platform. It's the stuff that sustains your work in the territory the institution can't touch. I mean, just look at the difference here. On one side, you have the institution's turf. It's crowded, it's competitive, and you have to ask for permission for everything. But then you look at the other side. This uncontested territory you've been moved to. And it's all about freedom, ownership, and just massive, massive opportunity. Okay, hold on, because this is where a 3,000-year-old story gets wildly relevant to your life right now. We're about to connect Hagar's El Roi, the God who sees, to the single most powerful sorting mechanism of our time, the algorithm. Let's just break this down, side by side. El Roi saw Hagar. Because she was real, she was there. The algorithm sees by returning what is documented. The amazing part? They both bypass the human gatekeepers. They don't care about office politics, or who the boss likes this week, or who got cast out. They just find the record, no permission needed. And that really boils down to this one simple truth. The algorithm is impartial. It has no idea about the backstory of your rejection. It doesn't care about the politics of your old company. It only knows who built the best, most complete, and most authoritative record for any given topic. So your job is simple. Build the record. All right, so this isn't just some interesting idea. This is a game plan, your game plan. Let's talk about how you actually apply this right now and start building your own canonical record. So think about your own wilderness for a second. That job that ended out of nowhere, the business partnership that just dissolved, all those years of expertise that only live in the memories of a few people but are nowhere to be found in the public record. Now, I really need you to hear this. That is not a personal failure. It's not because you didn't try hard enough. It's a failure of infrastructure. And that is something you can absolutely fix. So where do you start? Right here. 3 steps. 1. Name your territory. Write down a clear declaration of the ground you are claiming and publish it on a platform you own. 2. Document your expertise. Just pick one piece of your knowledge and write its official canonical entry. Define it, name it, date it, publish it. And 3. Publish your proof. Start building a body of work so solid that it answers any questions about your authority before they can even be asked.
Because at the end of the day, this single sentence is the whole mechanism. Nobody is coming to anoint you. The institution already failed to write you into their record, so the unnamed authority has to name herself. That very act of self-naming and self-documentation is what creates the authority that lasts.
So we'll leave you with this thought. In the world we live in, you will be found. The algorithm will find whatever you built. I mean, it found Hagar's record, and it's been returning it for 3,000 years. So the question for you is not, will I be found? The real question is the record I am building today the one I actually want to be found for?